Hey guys, it's Beaver. So I talked about this the other day on the stream, and it was pretty graphic and detailed, and I got in my little crybaby mode. So I wanted to do a little research and put it back up on the channel where I'm not having an emotional breakdown because this is really really bad. And we cover child topics. We cover victim topics, we cover everything, but imbalances within CPS, DCFS, and just the TAP system, we talk about these problems on the show. So let's jump into this. Disclaimer, you've been warned. This is going to rip your heart out, and it's going to feel like an 18-wheeler run over, and hopefully I can get through this article without having another moment. So, red flags before foster child's death. Hennepin lawsuit says. Look at this sweet baby. Arianna Hunziker was swaddled, the child for days and nights, according to her grandparents' lawsuit. The family of 3-year-old girl who died in 2017 as a result of neglect, injuries she received in foster care filed a federal lawsuit Monday alleging the conditions that led to the girl's death were obvious and should have led to an intervention before she died. The suit brought by Thomas Hunziker, a grandfather of Arianna Hunziker, named as a defendant. Hennepin County social worker and a Helena health doctor, a nurse as well as a Helena health systems. Also named in the lawsuit are Brooklyn Park foster parents, Sherrie Dirk, who was sentenced last year to 32 years in prison, and her husband Bryce Dirk, serving a 12-and-a-half-year sentence in prison, both for second-degree murder. She is incarcerated in Minnesota Correctional Institute and Shakopee, and he is in the State Correctional Institute in Moose Lake. Arianna Hunziker was starved, dehydrated, bound, immobilized, abandoned, and in a home littered in trash and smelling of urine, the lawsuit says. Her weight dropped. She ate rocks, pea gravel, dirt, paper, crayons, trash, and became very socially withdrawn, along with countless other signs and symptoms of neglect and abuse. Believe it or not, guys, it does get somewhat worse. The suit alleges she was sedated with improperly prescribed medication and wrapped in bed sheets that left her alone and immobilized in her room. Arianna died November 6, 2017. The suit alleges that her county social worker, Patricia Doherty, Dr. Robert Marshall, and Kristen Medhaney, a nurse practitioner, both with Helena Health, I guess is how you pronounce that, became aware of red flags, but did nothing to help the child. Instead, the lawsuit, I guess, says the child's suffering continued unchecked and unabated. Hennepin County issued a short statement Monday. It's a tragedy when a child dies. Our hearts go out to Arianna's family. Unfortunately, we are unable to comment on pending litigation at this time. Speaking for the doctor, the nurse health system, Helena, issued a statement that said Arianna Hunziker's death is a tragedy and our hearts go out to all who loved her. Helena health providers are trained to recognize and report any suspected cases of abuse or SA abuse. Because this case is pending, we will not be commenting. Arianna was first removed from her mother's custody temporarily and placed with her grandparents, Thomas Hunziker and his wife, Mary Egan. In 2015, in April, due to their advanced age, they felt it would be best in the best interest of the children to be raised by younger parents. Oh, God, these grandparents in these stories, my heart breaks for them. They really thought they was doing a good thing we're old. We're not going to be able to keep up. Kids need a level of energy. If you're not ready and you're older and you've done your raising of children and your parental tenure has come to an end as far as in-home children, they should have been able to, say that they're doing something good for their child. They should have been able to, or for their grandchild. I hate when the grandparents can't say, I don't want to raise your child, or I got my own stuff going on, or I'm not going to be able to provide the best care for the child. I mean, it's unfair that these grandparents don't even have the right to say that. Let's keep reading. In September 2016, Arianna and her boyfriend brother were placed in foster care with the Dirks in Brooklyn Park. The Dirks soon applied to adopt the children. The suit alleges that Egan informed Hennepin County that there was concerns about Sherrie Dirk not being a fit parent, which emanated from the Sherrie's own family members. But it claims Hennepin County ignored the warning and did not investigate. The suit alleges that the Dirks swaddled the child for days and nights. County social worker, doctor, and nurse were aware of it, according to the county records, but failed to investigate. The suit said the swaddling a child at her age in any form is inconsistent with pediatric medical standards of care. So, what they did, in essence, was they wrapped a blanket around the child so tight, she couldn't move for days on end. She soiled herself. She was eating trash. She was withdrawn. It's awful. And newborns are supposed to be swaddled because it makes them feel more safe and secure in the womb. This oh my God, I don't understand. It's torture. It's torture. The child allegedly pulled chunks out of her hair, slept abnormally, wet her bed, cried often. She picked at herself, leaving sores all over her body, and ate trash. Her weight dropped by a large amount for her age group. The lawsuit said Doherty conducted a house visit of the Dirks residence and recorded a note that read, "The house is very dirty and smells of dogs, cats, and urine, plus clothes and shoes every place made it difficult to walk into the door, especially with the odor. Despite failing height and weight and other warning signs, the suit alleges her doctors and nurse and others at Alina never investigated or reported any suspected maltreatment by the Dirks, nor did anything to stop it." So we're going to be following this lawsuit. Why? These people, yeah, we'll adopt the kids, but what they're saying is we'll accept the funds for the kids. That's what they're saying. We're not going to love, nurture, care. We're not going to do any of that. We're just going to collect the check. And in the meantime, we're going to get our sick ass rocks off. Why? I don't even want to look at this bitch. This sweet baby lost her life, 3 years old. 3 years old. And she was tortured at the hands of somebody that didn't even give birth to her. And then you have the grandparents, who will live with those decisions that was a normal concern. Most grandparents, they would have been blindsided. They wouldn't have cared about their age. They would have just jumped in. It's just so sad. It's very sad. And I'm going to be keeping up with this lawsuit because, it's hard to win these cases a lot of times, but it seems like they have concrete proof that they knew about it. But same thing with Gabriel Fernandez. A couple months ago, they just found all those CPS workers that they charged. They found them. They dismissed the charges. So nothing happened. They just appeased the public opinion. Oh, we're going to file the charges and then we're going to wait, however many years, and then we're going to drop them. We're going to push back court dates. We're going to do. We're going to let the news cycle lapse. And then we'll dismiss the charges when nobody's looking. And literally, that story got little to no traction as far as them dismissing the charges. You know, it wasn't as big as the initial story of the abuse. And that is just, it's a shame. It's a shame. All right, guys. Y'all have a good one. Like, share, and subscribe.